Hey guys, welcome to Mystery Diagnosis. I decided to go to the doctor because even though the swelling has gone down in my eye, it's still swollen.
Charlie was working so hard. He would travel, he'd come home, and he just wouldn't feel well.
I was having some joint pain and some muscle pain, lower back pain, but I figured that was just normal condition for my age.
You get old, you get aches, you get pains.
Charlie is determined to stay active, but later that year he goes on a business trip and falls ill.
I was coming from Lima, Peru to Bogota, Colombia, and I got to Bogota and I was ill for 3 or 4 days in a hotel room in Colombia. Just in terrible shape.
Like I'm getting some from an animal.
And we'd start saying, you're getting old, you gotta watch out, you can't do too much, and we'd keep doing it anyway.
I'm talking about like penny.
Although Charlie is struggling with his health, Linda seems to be in better condition. Until they go on vacation that fall. Suddenly, Linda experiences an unusual pain that she's never felt before.
I wonder if it's
I went to get off the plane and I couldn't get up out of my seat. I had such awful pain in my lower back, in my hip area, that Charlie almost had to carry me off the plane. I was dizzy and off balance, and I'm driving the car. So I just concentrated. I got myself home.
She went to bed early that night, and that was the end of it, and we figured that in a couple days she'd be fine.
I'm glad she got home. I expected her to pull out from the road, and then when she felt better, she would go home.
The headaches are almost constant.
And
6 weeks after they begin, Linda has an especially scary episode.
The headaches are annoying.
She was curled up in the bed, almost in a fetal position.
I think I know what it is, by the way.
Looking frightened.
It felt like my head was going to explode all over the room. And they immediately give me a CAT scan. With such a bad headache, they wanted to make sure that I wasn't bleeding in the brain.
I did the first time.
I thought at that point that maybe I had an aneurysm or possibly some type of a tumor.
I could see why she would say that.
You start to think that, well, maybe this is something really bad. Maybe this is a brain tumor. And that was a little bit frightening. It was frightening for her and for me.
I'm just thinking it's bacteria from an animal.
But he said it's not a neurological problem. So I went back to see Dr. Lockman again.
Whenever you have a somewhat unusual finding of inflammatory changes inside the brain, you have to be suspicious of something a little bit more odd going on.
And he said, you need to go to see an infectious disease doctor.
Well, the first thing I did is get a long history. I spent a lot of time getting history. Where you been, how you been, where do you live, what kind of water do you drink?
He asked how many people came to our houses, were they from other countries, who visited us often, what trips we had taken.
The invasive question, but I understand
he said those exact words. We will get to the bottom of this. And we knew he would.
And we went all out. Her lab test must have cost her thousands of dollars. And, you don't like to run a lab cost like this.
Right.
But we were trying to find the answer to a very mysterious disease.
I understand. I would do the same. It's brucellosis.
Linda's test results are ready.
Dr. Smith starts going through the list. Very interesting.
We went down the line.
Pages and pages of results came back on all the tests that he took on me, on some exotic things that I never would have imagined.
And finally, the bottom of the list was the result. And I was skeptical of what we had found because it's so rare in this country.
He says, this is very, very odd.
Linda's diagnosis was brucellosis.
Brucellosis is an infectious disease caused by the bacteria Brucella. The bacteria can enter the body through unpasteurized dairy or tainted meat products. Once inside, Brucella invades the cells of the joints, muscles, and nerves. If the disease reaches the heart or brain, it can be fatal. Brucellosis is extremely rare in the U.S., affecting only about 1 to 200 patients a year. It's more common in places like Asia, the Middle East, and South America. It can be spread through blood.
It is a relapsing disease, goes on for a lifetime.
Linda is diagnosed just in time. The bacteria has already attacked her nervous system, causing her balance problems. She starts on a course of powerful antibiotics.
I found this article on the internet, and I read every word of it. The first place that this Brucella bacteria goes into is your lower back. And I'm thinking, and I'm going back 3.5 years before, when I couldn't get off that plane. That's when this started.
Suddenly, it all makes sense. Shortly before Linda's back pain started, Charlie was sick in South America. Now Linda wonders whether Charlie could be the carrier.
I don't think Charlie really thought he had it, but the more I talked to him, the more it made him think that it was a possibility.
So there's 100, 200 cases a year. Brucellosis test, and your brucellosis is 50% higher than Linda's.
Tells Dr. Smith that Charlie was the first to be infected.
That's the surprise I was talking about in the beginning of the video. I hope you enjoyed, because I enjoyed making this. I'm sorry that it's shorter. I'm doing shorter videos because of my tear ducts being blocked, so I'm kind of resting, but I'm still doing my job at the same time. My job of doing YouTube, of course. On vacations, I usually eat bread products like quesadillas and go places like the beach or at the aquarium or swim in the ocean at a beach. I haven't forgot about the drawing videos, the cooking videos, the baking videos, especially the cookies. I'm just taking a break from them because of the blocked tear ducts. And as soon as I move, or as soon as my eyes are feeling better, I'll do those type of videos with the medical videos. And on vacations, I like sticking around the hotel. Thank you for watching. Hit the notification bell to know when I post a video, and I'll see you next time.